and this is like my family symbol or something. So this is Cuchulainn. He's like an Irish mythological folkloric figure who and this is the spear of Longinus, supposedly in mythology, that pierced Christ's side, and he's the same guy here, which is a sort of symbol of Irish nationalism, and it's in our it's like a bronze statue in our one of the main buildings in Dublin, so I got it on my forearm.
So is there one type of tattoo artist that you go to? Is there one, like, or do you go to a few?
No, it's a couple of us have a friend from Poland who does them. He's done a few of them, and he more or less flies over from Poland and does them in my friend's front room, and then other people, if we're on tour, sometimes I let them have a go. So, but they're all tattoos and things are connected to the band in some way, you know. So they're usually pieces of band art or things I've drawn or things that have some sort of meaning from Irish history or family history or something.
So coming from Ireland, what do you Finland and the Tuska festival?
Well, at the moment this is about as much as I've seen, along with a song.
You only got to today?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of Fields of the Nephilim.
You like them?
Yeah, I love Fields, yeah.
So you like a bit of goth?
Well, I like Fields of the Nephilim.
I don't know, I think that, do you think they're a weird band on the bill with like Slayer and then Fields of the Nephilim and Nile, Fields of the Nephilim?
I think it is a bit strange, and I think that the daylight doesn't really suit a band like Fields of the Nephilim. Not really conducive to creating the right atmosphere. But I always liked Fields because they had like a real drummer, and you know, it wasn't just a drum machine and stuff, which kind of put me off most goth stuff, you know.
So you off the like old drum machine thing?
Yeah, not really into that, no.
But like, you know, there are a few bands that can actually pull it off with a drum machine.
Well, maybe, but particularly for metal, I don't like that, you know. I don't like that.
It needs to be real.
Yeah, I don't like that sort of machine kind of sound of most modern metal records.
What do you think about the wave of classic rock bands and classic bands getting back together lately? Like all these bands, you know?
Well, you know, there's a couple of different ways to look at it. I mean, I think for some of the, say when I was, you know, growing up and into thrash, a band I loved was At War from America. They disappeared in about '89, but this year they reformed and played a show in Germany. I went to see the first show in whatever 18 years, and it was great. And they're not reforming for the money because they were only a small band to begin with, but sometimes maybe the pressure upon a band in their 20s, in the 80s, to achieve, to be the next Metallica or whatever, was huge, and they failed and they gave up. But now they have kids and families, life is a bit more secure, maybe they can just play music again for fun. Then of course there's bands who just do it for the money, and we won't talk about them. And then
do you know those bands? do you know? I'm not expecting you to say the names, but do you know who those bands are?
Oh, of course. I mean, some people get to the stage where that, you know, that's they'll do the Reformation circuit and make their money, and then say, yeah, we will never play live ever again, and then 3 years again, there they are, you know. So, but then there's bands who just, you know, I think if you're in a band, you know, and you love playing music at one time, it never disappears, you know. You still want to play, so.
But you say that, like, you said something about '89. I was 5 then. I was 5 years old. Isn't that crazy?
In '89, yeah, in '89 I was 14, so I would have been just a little thrash guy, you know.
But you did something within metal as well.
I did something what?
You like went to gigs and stuff?
Of course, yeah. The first band I saw was Metallica and Danzig in '88.
What do you think about Metallica now?
As soon as James Hetfield stopped being in control of that band, it went to shit.
Well, who's in control then now?
He let Lars have a go, and I don't think he has a fucking clue now.
So what's your last album of Metallica that you absolutely fucking love?
Master of Puppets.
Well, you know what? I thank you so much for this interview, and I'm going to shake your hand.
No problem.
And, like, I hope you have fun at the Tuska festival.
Where is the fighting man? I am here.
day 2, and my God, am I hungover? It's not that I don't know about getting drunk, but yeah, I did get very drunk, and I don't remember where I woke up. I'm gonna drink some more because I'm drunk right now, and I can't even fucking string a sentence together. Okay, say bye. So you guys are starting work on a new album. When do you go in studio?
The studio is booked for July 20th. We're going to be in there for like 10 days for the basics. Then we go into a different studio for the overdubs and start mixing on August 1st. I don't know. The album's going to be done in September sometime.
So what new ideas are you incorporating in this album that you haven't used in any of your previous albums?
What's new? I think that's hard to tell. I mean, right now, I think the songs are more complex. We'll have more breaks. Some songs are a lot more brutal than on the last records, and we just try to freshen it up a little bit. Since we have worked with the same producer, Andy Sneap, for 2 albums now.
Oh, well, Andy's great. I know him as well.
He's amazing. But we want to try something new now. And we have a new producer from Germany. And who will have us play all together in one room and do a live recording, which is something that we haven't done in the past. I mean, not in the past couple of years, at least. So it's going to be a very raw, direct, and very in-your-face record.
So you said that the album is going to probably come out in September. What are your plans?
No, it's not going to come out in September. It's going to be ready. It's going to be done, mixed, and mastered in September. It will come out on I think January 15th or something.
So what are your plans after that? Are you going to tour a lot? Are you going to?
Yeah, our tour is already booked as well. So we'll be all over Europe again in January, from January to March.
And what about the US?
There will be the US in April.
So your previous album, Enemy of God, you say, I've seen an interview, was based on religion, terrorism, and other things. What is this album based on?
The next one. It's about misanthropy and hate. It's seriously. It's not a negative album, but it's definitely has some very hateful lyrics again for some reason. It doesn't have this concept which I had on Enemy of God. I think Enemy of God was really it was almost like an. I was still on the impression of September 11th back then, and we had to make our statement on what happened. And that our whole album is almost like a concept album, like against religion, anti-terrorism, anti-politics. So this next album is going to be more. I think the lyrical themes are more everyday life and life on the streets. Back to that. We'll see. I mean, I'm working on. Most of the lyrics are done. I'm pretty prepared this time, believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Usually I write some of the lyrics in the studio, but this time I'm all done.
Wow, in the studio, it's like you just come up with it right there?
Not all of them, but maybe 2 or 3 of them. So this time I'm going to be all prepared because it's a live recording, We have to be, at least the basics. I'm going to have some overdub time for the lyrics, for the vocals, but I want to be all prepared. I want to be, it's a different form of recording.